Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
Good to have you folks along. It's 7:31, 29 degrees outside, and on the line, ladies and gentlemen, Drew Gaffney.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What do you think Drew went as Halloween last night? What do you think he dressed up as?
Probably a Democrat. Let's find out. Drew, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
We're good. Did you dress up as a Democrat last night?
Well, kind of. I tried to dress up as Rick Shoemaker, the owner of Lexington Livestock, but I couldn't find a feminine enough costume.
No.
Oh, boy.
I hope that makes its way back to Rick.
I do, too. Well, we hope you had a good Halloween and of course a lot of good auction news coming up. You want to kind of cover what's happened and what's coming up at the Burwell and Broken Bow livestock barns?
You bet. Last week we had 2 big days of Broken Bow and Burwell, and I'll give you a recap. We had a special layup sale on Thursday in Broken Bow. The slaughter market, we call that thing $2 higher in most places, had 967 head of those cows on offer. Top cows were 88 to $1.05. Medium type cows were 82 to 87. Low yielding cows were 65 to 75, and bulls, we called those 90 cents to $1.09. This week, but back in Broken Bow and Burwell, we got 2 really big days. Broken Bow, we're looking right at 2,200 head of those calves and yearlings, and Burwell, we're looking about 2,500 to 3,000 head of calves and yearlings. And give you a little rundown how we're going to operate Thursday in Broken Bow. We got 200 head of Red Angus steers and replacement quality heifers. The heifers off this deal are going to be phenomenal, and they're coming from Pat and Lori Holman. And then we got 140 head of black steers and heifers, and they're weighing 475 to 575, coming from Austin, Brittany Russell, and Colton Russell. We got 120 head of black and black white face and red and few red white face steers and heifers, weighing 450 to 550 from the Glendy Ranch. Got 90 head of red and black steers and heifers, 500 to 600 pounds, coming from Phil and Carla Rohde. Got 73 head of Red Angus steers and heifers, and not going to be very many heifers on this deal, but the ones that will be real good come from Tim Russell. And got 50 head of red white face steers and heifers, 400 to 500 pounds, preconditioned, coming from Dan Wolfstrom. Got 50 head of black steers and heifers, weighing 400 425, coming from Roy and Joni Gert and Austin and Sarah Horn. Got 30 head of black white face steers and heifers, coming from Parson Ranch. Got 45 head of black white face steers, coming from Randy and Lori Blakeman. Got 22 head of black steers and heifers, coming from Stan McKeel. And we got 15 head of black Angus bull calves, 650, 750, coming from Jim Boyles. We got 10 head of black steers, bangs vaccinated heifers. Heifers are going to be fancy, coming from Carl and Cindy Olson. And we got calves coming from Jim Williams and Zach Ewell and Patrick Martin. We get in the feeder division. We got 240 head of black and red choice steers. There's going to be 3 loads of blacks, 1 load of reds, weighing 825 to 850, coming from Turney Land and Cattle. And we got 160 head of black Angus cross steers and heifers, weighing 850. They're NHT seed, non-GMO, coming from Lone Creek Cattle Company. And 62 head of black white face steers, weighing 850 pounds, right off the grass, coming from Gail Millsap. We've added this list all week long, and we've got quite a few more consignments that are wanting to come on today. If you got any questions, give us a call, 308-872-3334, or give Todd a call, 308-870-1783. Back there on Burwell on Friday, like I said, we got about 3,500 head. I won't go through all the consignments. If you got any questions or want to look at any of the consignments, go to Cattle USA or go to BurwellLivestock.com. We'll get you signed up for the auction. Got any questions, give me a call, 308-872-1105.
All right. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate the report, and have some more good sales for us, would you?
You bet. One thing I'd like to tell you on a side note, like always, we do have the Stockman's Cafe available for rent for parties and family gatherings, whatnot, with Thanksgiving coming up. Sure encourage you to give Todd a call and see if you can get a spot leased for using that facility.
All right. It's all fixed up and ready to go. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's a neat little building. They've got it all fixed up. I think maybe it's being used for some, at least one of the one-box parties, and so that's something to remember.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you had yourself a good Halloween. We certainly had fun yesterday in the park with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids out there with costumes, having a really great day. 72 degrees. Jeremy had some music going, and the candy was fluent.
Yes.
Kids were having a good time. Adults were having a good time. So hope the events that you had in your community were as much fun. With the weather like that, having an outside activity on the 31st of October, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And just seemed like everybody had a good time, thanks to the chamber and everybody who put that on. But all the different trunks that were open with candy to give out, something like 30 trunks, and all the businesses close by. And I was talking with Paul over at Custer Federal last night. He said, yeah, they made it all the way over there, you know.
Good.
So they went off the square quite a ways, which was good to hear. So
Yeah.
And there's a lot of comments on Facebook about, I saw one this morning, why 2 red M&Ms?
Yes.
A question.
I'm sure.
Some about yours truly being the only black M&M and the black sheep of the group. I felt a little bit discriminated against, but it's in the past. We're going to let it go, and I know you would have liked to have been. It's kind of funny when you think about that whole scenario. You wanted to be an individual.
Well, yeah.
On your own.
Well, I was asked. I think I was the first one that was asked, "What color do you want to be?" Now, when you're asked what color do you want to be, then I'm assuming, okay, I will be that color.
Now, I don't want to get you worked up again. Just it's okay.
Okay, well,
I mean,
so I chose red, because I remember asking. I said, well, what colors have been taken?
Mm-hmm.
And well, you're the first one. I'm like, oh, well, in that case, I'd like to be red. I'd like to be the red M&M.
But you were.
I was, but I wasn't the only red M&M.
Everyone
That's
else.
okay.
Everyone else had their own color, but you.
Yes.
And you and Jeff you were both red.
Yeah, Jeff and I were both red.
And I just must say, being the black M&M, which is there's only black M&Ms during Halloween.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's a special edition or
Yeah.
something. I just felt like a lot of times I needed to be standing on the other side of the sidewalk, being away from the rest of the group.
Yeah.
So you got included, but you were kind of diminished in your individual, as an individual.
Yes.
And I was set aside as an individual, but chastised for it.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Just typical for you and me.
Yeah.
That's the way we're treated around here sometimes.
I think sometimes we pay a price for being the breakfast show host. I think there's
Possibly.
some feelings in the building here that let's get Dave and Brent. And I'm sorry that you've been included in that. I've grown used to it over the years.
Now, for that, we are a we.
Yeah. But in this case, you're okay with that?
In this case, yes. That's a we. Yeah.
All right. Well, forget about what we've talked about, most importantly, what took place was the kids had a great time.
Yeah, well, it was the first opportunity for me to ever be down at Trunk or Treat. Man, what an event. That was fun. I mean,
fun.
all the kids, and I enjoyed the moms and there were lots of moms and dads that got dressed up.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite was there was a family that came across. You had, I think, one of the kids dressed up as a mouse.
Yeah.
And then one was a piece of cheese, and then Dad was the mouse trap. As they were coming along, I'm like, that's great, that's good costumes.
It's one of the examples of the family costumes, and a lot of Spider-Men, a lot of Spideys.
Yep. Spidey was very popular. A lot of the superhero theme was prevalent.
A lot of princess
at
type.
Trunk or Treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of beautiful princesses walking around.
Yeah, that was fun. So I'm sure they'll be doing that for many years to come. They did change the hours here a little bit this year. We'll see if they leave that the same, but give people who got off work a chance to maybe walk with their kids a little bit and enjoy. What was amazing when you were in the park and you see all the kids in the perimeter of the park coming around, that was a lot of kids and families. Then you looked around the square in the storefronts, and they were just as packed there for about an hour. It was just amazing. Took about 30. I talked with Hunter Thomas last night. Took about 30 minutes or so to get rid of or pass out the bacon.
Yeah, I did. I can't believe it. I kind of got scolded a little bit. I was supposed to get a package of bacon, and I didn't get over there in time. I kind of forgot about it. I don't know how I did, but I don't know if I would have gotten over there in time anyway.
You would have been in line.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty popular promotion.
Yeah, just over 30 minutes to do 200 pounds, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Pound at a time. So pretty amazing. Thomas Livestock and their business partners making that available. It's a good idea. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that again, because October is, pork month.
Yeah.
So what a grand finale that was.
Indeed.
Oh, let's talk a little bit about the Chicago Bears for a moment. They lost over the weekend, this past weekend, to the Cowboys.
Yes.
Now they're just trading all their players away. The deadline is today, right?
Oh, the trade deadline? Yeah, I think so.
For changing players back and forth.
I think so.
They got rid of another one, didn't they?
Yeah. And they're building for the future.
Both the baseball
why are
team.
you doing this to me?
Well, I just wonder why they want to get better and they keep doing things like that. If you, like you said, if you look at the Phillies, there's a whole bunch of Cubs players on the Phillies.
Oh yeah, there are. There's a bunch of former Cubs on the Phillies. That's why I'm cheering for the Phillies.
Man,
I don't know.
Okay.
I told Jeremy that this is. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. I guess, they're trying. They're in their mind they're trying to build for the future. But I'm one of those fans that giving up on the season. I have that's hard for me to swallow as a fan.
Yeah.
That was tough on me when the Cubs did it. What was it, last year, when they just started selling everybody off?
Right.
I'm like, well, you're giving up on the season. I still think there's a lot of season left. But anyway, they did what they did.
Going to get a little music going for you. Then we're going to play the game, and we don't have a lot of menus for you this morning, but we'll get some. Here's Jackson Browne. Brent with you. Want to talk a little bit more about sports because sounds like some more football. Six-man coming up here on KBBN.
Yeah, we're going to go cover the SEM Mustangs on Friday night. SEM has made it into the state quarterfinals in six-man football, so we're going to head on over to Sumner and do SEM against Shelton. And looking forward to that. Kickoff is at 6:30, and we'll broadcast the game live on KBBN 95.3 FM, KBBN.com. We'll be covering SEM for you the rest of the way, hopefully for about 3 more weeks, we're hoping. But best of luck to them, and we look forward to the game on Friday.
All right, very good. This just into our chat box this morning says, thank you to the communities of Anselmo and Myrna for attending the Emmanuel Lutheran Church Halloween party at the Myrna Community Center. Over 125 kids attended, and they had fun playing all the games and participating in the cakewalk. A great community event with lots of activity. That came from Gary Geiselman. And Gary, thanks for dropping that into our note box this morning. As we mentioned, lots of communities having lots of fun things for the kids out there. Going to play the game real quick, and then we're going to talk with Logan Girardin here on The Breakfast Show. And our game today brought to you by the Tumbleweed Cafe.
Okay, your last question about not-so-scary Halloween movies. What non-scary Halloween film features Dr. Frankenfurter? Now, this film would be considered a cult classic, I believe, is how you would title it. Your choices are Mean Girls, Beetlejuice, The Addams Family, or The Rocky Horror Picture Show. What non-scary Halloween film features Dr. Frankenfurter? Your choices: Mean Girls, Beetlejuice, The Addams Family, or The Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you know the answer, call us at 872-2801. There are plenty of reasons why so many folks choose the Tumbleweed Cafe for gathering and eating. For one, it's a friendly, fun place where everyone makes you feel right at home. It's spacious and comfortable with your choice of table, counter, or booth. Most important, of course, is the variety and unfailing quality of their excellent home-cooked menu. There's nothing like proving these things for yourself. Next time you plan to dine out, visit the Tumbleweed Cafe, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
And we have John on the line. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning, Dave. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good to hear from you again. Here's Brent with your question.
Okay, John, what non-scary Halloween film features Dr. Frankenfurter? Is it Mean Girls, Beetlejuice, The Addams Family, or The Rocky Horror Picture Show?
It must be The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Well, of course it is. And because you've answered correctly, we've got a certificate that'll get you a free tumbleweed meal at the Tumbleweed. So come on out and see us.
Sounds good. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you, John. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right. Logan Girardin in the studio from Arrow Seed in Broken Bow. Logan, how you doing?
I've been better.
Oh, what's wrong, man?
Went trick-or-treating last night.
We saw you.
Which was fun, except I actually tripped and fell into a kid that was dressed as a snare drum.
Oh, heavens.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got a percussion out of the deal.
Where do you rate that one, Brent?
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Well, you guys looked like you're having fun yesterday
It
with
was.
the kids.
It was.
Nice outing, right?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice day.
Yeah, beautiful. So, what is happening at Arrow Seed? What's going on?
Well, it's the time to control prairie dogs,
Okay.
and producers right now need all the grass they can get, and prairie dogs will take away from that, and they just make it a nuisance. So now's the optimal time to control the prairie dogs, and we've got the product for it.
Okay.
So you'd be putting out Rosol, which is a restricted use pesticide, but it's going to be probably the most effective control.
When you say restricted use for folks out there, what does that mean?
You need to have a applicator permit through the state of Nebraska.
Okay, so if you own the property and it's your land, you still need the certificate. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
It's a highly regulated product, if that makes sense.
So they apply for that. They take a test for
You
that.
have to take a course or take a test for it.
All right.
So, because restricted use, there's the likelihood that non-target species will be affected.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, how long does that take? Because if they're wanting to do it, can they get it in a fairly short period of time?
yeah, I don't think it takes very long. Like I had to do the commercial applicator license, which you have to go sit through a whole day of training and take a test and all that stuff. But I think the private applicator permit, that if you're not doing it as your job, you know, if it's just on your own, if you're not getting paid to do it by a company, basically, I think it's just an online course you take.
Okay. All right. But you have the product.
Yes, we've got the product.
Okay.
And like I said, right now is the time to be applying it. You know, it's super mild out. Those prairie dogs are
Pretty
not
active, yeah.
They're not hibernating.
Yeah.
They're definitely very active still.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. That part of it. And where are we at with cover crops?
They're pretty well slowed down.
That's about it.
Yeah. I think that ship's pretty well sailed.
Okay.
You know, you could still get some rye in the ground or some wheat, but don't expect much out of it this fall. Next spring it'll still work.
Okay.
But you just won't get much growth this fall on it.
Might be best to wait till springtime.
Yeah, you know, you
Okay.
could go with oats or more of a spring type cover crop and still get the same result.
Moving some cattle into the corn, that takes fencing.
It does.
And no doubt there's probably plenty of guys and gals out there that have fencing from years past, but things get broken. Maybe the moving it to a different field, or whatever. I'm sure they kind of need to spruce things up every year.
Yeah, that's just it. You know, how many farmers and ranchers out there have a pile of T-posts or a pile of rod posts that still have the insulators on them? They get banged up and thrown around, and then those insulators don't insulate very well. They get cracked and brittle and break.
And then you don't really have the zap you need.
Exactly. Then you have a short in the fence, and shorts and fences are no good.
No, then you might have cattle out.
Yes.
That's never good.
No.
So you're ready to supply everybody with that, or if they want to replace and go new.
Yep, exactly. You know, we do have some really good step-in posts that are super easy to use, and they don't tangle up. They've got the insulator built right on top of them. They're a ring top post, but those would be perfect for going around stocks with. You know, maybe you just need to replace a few posts that you've got. These are a really great alternative to the old school rod posts that you got to drive into the ground. You know, these ones you just step in.
Step them in, all right. Not a lot of electricity out there available for people when they're moving cattle on the corn. And in some cases there is, or you know, if you have electric fence coming off a barn or a shed or something, you've got AC to go. But you have units that can be solar only, combination.
Yeah, we've got you covered there. You know, whether you need a solar fencer that you're just going to set out, you know, it's like the old rotisserie commercial. You set it and forget it. That's what you do with those solars. You turn it on and they just go to work.
It's pretty nice.
They are.
Yeah.
I've got one around my garden that's no bigger than this studio.
So you don't have to worry about it.
Nope, don't have to worry about the rabbits and other stuff getting in there. I mean, nothing's growing in there right now, but during the growing season,
Yeah.
I put that around it to deter some of the pests.
And talking about springtime, Logan, depending on what happens here with our moisture situation going into spring, we probably are going to see some of the guys and gals out there rotating that pasture a little more, splitting it in half, letting them graze one side or quarters or whatever.
Yep. And we can get you squared away there. You know, maybe there's some areas that the grass just simply isn't there and you need to spruce it up a little bit. We've got the seed for that. You know, spring is a perfect time. The chance of getting spring rains is better than fall rains or summer rains or just rain in general around here.
Any kind of rain.
You know,
Yeah.
so any little head start you can give that new seed, you'll be be in better shape in the long run.
All right, now, if you don't mind switching over to recreation for a moment.
I don't know if I can talk about that, Dave.
I know that this time of year is one of your favorite times of year because the hunting seasons are coming all together here. You're going to have deer, the rifle season here pretty soon. Pheasant season coming up. You have the prairie chicken and grouse season kind of winding down. Ducks, and with all of those different things comes, wild game feeds and deer sticks. And
Exactly. As I like to call it, it's the killing and grilling season.
yeah. Yep. And you've got the grills, you've got the smokers, you've got the things to make those deer sticks with.
Absolutely. The tasty meat treats are going to be plentiful this year. And we've got all the seasonings that you need, whether you're doing muscle jerky or, you're doing ground jerky, you're doing snack sticks, you're doing summer sausage, you're doing bratwurst, you're doing breakfast sausage. I mean, we can get you covered. Maybe you're just grinding it up into burger and you need the game bag, the freezer bags. We've got those. We've got the vacuum sealers, we've got the vacuum bags, we've got the grinders, we've got the mixers, we've got the stuffers. I mean, we've got the full array.
And I know you were having some supply problems, but you're good to go.
We've pretty well got everything in. We've got the high temperature cheese, which
you got it. Okay.
That stuff can't talk enough about. There is nothing better than cheese inside of your snack sticks or summer sausage. What the high temperature cheese does is it retains its shape and consistency up to like 400 degrees, so it doesn't melt out. You put Velveeta or just block cheese in there that's got a really low melting point, and it melts out of there.
It just leaves.
It's gone. It doesn't stay. You don't take a bite and you go, ooh, cheese. You take a bite and you go, where'd the cheese go?
Yeah, I put it in there.
I know it's in there somewhere. So we've got pepper jack, we've got Swiss, cheddar, and I think we've got some habanero hot temperature cheese. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still have the cookers?
The can cookers?
Can cookers?
Yep, that we do. Can cookers are awesome.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time of year, it is my favorite time of year.
And you can go out and deer hunt and do a little camping with that and have those can cookers and throw together a stew or something.
If this weather pattern stays up, this might be the first year I've deer hunted in shorts.
Yeah, it's possible. 72 yesterday, going to be mid-70s today.
And if I wore shorts, I wouldn't have to wear a blaze orange vest because everybody would be able to see my white beacon legs.
Yeah. Well, consider that before you do it. So, running a little overtime, but I wanted to ask you a couple other questions here. What were they? We're talking about processing. Oh, birds. Even though it's this warm, we know we're going to get some colder weather. Bird feeders and all of that. I know you guys are all up for that.
Yeah, and and if you're really hard up, I guess you could process some birds, but whatever. if you feed them enough, and you fatten them up, I don't see how they'd be bad.
Well, having eaten quail, which are delicious, you got to get a few of them to make a meal.
Yep.
So.
And if you do that, be sure to check your rules and regulations. We don't want anybody getting in trouble out there.
Right.
But if you do harvest a bird like that, they're not going to be going cheap. So.
Oh, I almost didn't catch that one.
Wow.
Anyway.
But yes, we've got the bird food, the bird seed, bird food, bird feeders. We've got all that stuff. One of the most popular mixes that we've got would be our Finch blend, and that's a mixture of the sunflower hearts and also the thistle. So it's geared more towards your small birds. But we also have the black oil sunflowers. We've got just the Niger thistle. I don't believe we have any more of the sunflower hearts left, but those are good standalone. Or we've got like the white millet and red millet. that type of stuff. So,
Okay. All right.
and it is the season for that too.
It is, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later. There's actually scientific data that shows when human beings sit for just a little bit and watch the birds, it's actually quite healthy for us to relieve stress.
Honestly, it's fun.
It's just nice,
you know, because you really kind of see the pecking order. You get the one bird that's like, no, this is my feeder, and then they get put in their place by somebody that's really hungry, and then it just keeps going.
Yeah, and sometimes it gets kind of like an adventure film. When we had finches one year, all of a sudden there was this hawk came out of nowhere in our backyard, came down like a stealth bomber, and well, there was one little finch that became a meal.
Yeah,
yeah,
probably a tasty little morsel.
Yeah, but you generally it's nice to have the birds around.
Yeah, and the thing with birds in general around here that most people probably just kind of an afterthought, but they migrate, so they don't the cool birds don't stay here year round. They come through in different times.
Yeah.
And right now it's the fall migration, so there's birds coming from up north that you probably haven't seen since last year.
Yeah, come on through. And there's nothing more satisfying to look out the window and see a pair of cardinals with snow on the ground in your yard too. That's just a cool sight.
Yep, and so cardinals do eat safflower, and we've got safflower.
Okay.
But it's really cool because the blackbirds don't care for it.
Oh, they don't like it?
Nope.
Well, that's unusual.
So they kind of stay away from the feeder if you put a lot of safflower in there, and some of the other birds will swoop on in.
Yeah. I can tell you this, grackles like cat food.
Grackles are starlings, sorry.
Yeah.
Starlings are the ones that are open season.
Oh.
So you can shoot as many of them as you want. They are. There's no
season on them.
Because they're an invasive species. So starlings are, they migrate in the fall and then in the spring again. But yeah, you can pretty sure you can pretty well decimate that population and not make a dent.
They're like coyotes.
They're prolific.
Okay. All right. Okay, Arrow Seed open 5 days a week, 5.5 days a week.
Yes.
All right. What's your phone number there?
872-6826.
Questions or information you need about products, you'll get one of the fine staff members there.
Yep. And if you have any new material for me for next week, feel free to share it. Call it in, because these guys need some fresh stuff.
No, yours pretty much fresh every time. Thanks, Logan.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
News is next.
The music to get your day started right.
I listen every morning.
The Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Arraignment is set for today for David DePape, the suspect in the hammer attack on Nancy Pelosi's 82-year-old husband, Paul.
Residential burglary, assault with a deadly weapon, elder abuse, false imprisonment of an elder.
San Francisco DA Brooke Jenkins says DePape's intention was to tie up the House Speaker, interrogate her, and break her knees if he didn't like her answers, but she wasn't home. A Halloween night drive-by shooting on the west side of Chicago has wounded 14 people, some critically. Police Superintendent David Brown.
It begins and then it's over about 3 seconds. The car's pulling out after driving by and shooting randomly really into the crowd.
Youngest victim, 3 years old. One person was hit by the car. The Powerball jackpot is climbing.
All right, the rest of your winning numbers, 39.
No one won last night's $1 billion jackpot, so tomorrow's take rises to $1.2 billion. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, chaos at a Halloween event in North Omaha Monday night. Hundreds of people were allegedly put in danger by a driver, and Omaha police ended up shooting that person. It all started a little after 7 p.m., a terrifying Halloween night for people in the Minlusa neighborhood. Several officers were there for an annual Halloween event when there was a call for a reckless driver. Minutes later, police say the driver drove through barricades and into a crowd of hundreds of people and children. That's when an officer who had been handing out candy, fired his weapon, hitting the man inside the car. Despite driving through the packed street, police say, as of now, it doesn't appear that anyone was hit by the driver. Police also say the driver of the car was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Plenty of neighbors saw the driver and heard the shots, and many homeowners allowed strangers into their homes to try to protect people throughout all the chaos. That's Nebraska News.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In Major League Baseball, Game 3 of the World Series was rained out in Philadelphia. Phillies and Astros are still tied at a game apiece, scheduled to play later today, also tomorrow and Thursday, before a day off on Friday. If it gets that far, Lance McCullers Jr. will start for Houston tonight. Noah Syndergaard was the start for Game 3 for Philadelphia, but now they're going to go with Ranger Suarez with the extra day off. In the NFL, Monday Night Football in Cleveland, an AFC North battle as the Browns beat the Bengals 32-13. Cleveland running back Nick Chubb had 101 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Quarterback Jacoby Brissett, 2 scores as well, 1 through the air and 1 on the ground. Cleveland improves to 3-5 with the win. Cincinnati falls to 4-4 with the loss. NFL trade deadline is at 4 p.m. Eastern time today. The Baltimore Ravens picked up linebacker Roquan Smith from the Chicago Bears for 2nd and 5th round picks, plus linebacker A.J. Klein. Smith's 83 tackles this season led the NFL. College football, Auburn fired their head coach Brian Harsin.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see a good deal of sunshine with high temperatures working up into the upper 70s. We'll have our winds increasing from the south to 10 to 15. Then for tonight, mostly clear, a low of 44. For Wednesday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine with highs up to 74 degrees, south winds at 10 to 20. Thursday, slight chance for an afternoon shower, mid-60s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
The big election is next week, and tonight Rob Schmidt is on Newsmax talking about the real issues the big media won't. Inflation, a border in crisis, parents' rights, the woke agenda, and a lot more. Rob Schmidt speaks with the candidates that will change America. Find out who's winning in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Nevada, Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, North Carolina, New Hampshire, and many other places. Watch Rob Schmidt tonight on Newsmax. Millions are switching to Newsmax. Make the switch today.
Qatar, here we come.
Kristen's travel agency has one goal.
Talk to you soon.
The world's biggest soccer tourney.
The hotel is 7 miles from the stadium. Are you serious? Did you email the transportation company?
Now he needs an Arabic interpreter on his roster.
I don't speak it either.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When you're gearing up for the next sports season, remember Geared for Sports in Broken Bow for all the equipment and fanware you need. It's hard to believe, but basketball and wrestling will be here soon. Scott has the shoes and gear you need to play. If he doesn't have what you're looking for, just ask, and he'll try his best to get what you need. When you're in, check out the new Husker apparel arrivals that have been added to their huge selection. On the Square in Broken Bow, Geared for Sports.
It is no secret that cybersecurity and keeping your personal information safe and secure is very important. Scammers never stop and will do whatever they can to get your information. Some examples of what to be looking out for are spoofed phone calls, suspicious emails or texts, computer pop-ups, requests for urgent wire transfers or gift card purchases. If you are suspicious of fraud or a scam, always call your bank about the situation. Bruning Bank wants you to stay safe and be diligent about keeping your information secure. Our staff is trained to deal with any type of situation and is happy to help or answer any questions you may have. Bruning Bank. Build, grow, thrive. Member FDIC.
The fall season is in full swing, and they are excited about it at Barney Health Mart in Broken Bow. Right now, stop in and save 20% off all fall decor. Yes, that includes fall gnome and turkey decorations that are in stock. Nothing says fall like a fall-scented candle. They have them. Join them at upcoming flu shot clinics November 8th and 22nd. Barney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
12 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. It's 28 degrees outside. We've been bouncing around this morning between 28 and even 30 degrees. but we're just on either side of 30 here most of the morning so far under a clear sky. Winds have not been a factor. It's really a nice autumn morning out there. Barometric pressure up 2 points now in the last hour at 29.96. Humidity at 60%. High yesterday, as we mentioned, 72 with an overnight low of 28. Sunrise this morning at 8:10. Sunset at 6:35. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 8:11. No measurable precipitation here on this first day of November. We ended up October, and it seemed like we've been a broken record on that. 25 hundredths precipitation all the month of October, with about 5 hundredths coming towards the tail end and the 20 hundredths coming earlier. So dry spell for sure in October. That's the weather and news at 8 here on The Breakfast Show. We have a couple of birthdays here. I understand Mark Wells is celebrating a birthday today.
Oh, wow. All right. Happy birthday to Mark.
We'll get to that. We'll get to Mark Wells in a moment.
Okay.
And Christy Wells is also in this story. Pretty good story. But we want to take time to wish Jody Zirkadis down at Custer Federal a happy birthday today.
Nice. Happy birthday, Jody.
I like Jody. I always tell her when I see her, you look ornery. There's just something ornery about Jody, but a very friendly sort of ornery. So happy birthday, Jody, at Custer Federal. Now, Mark and Christy played a pretty darn good trick last night on Trick or Treat night.
Yes. Well, they were out trick-or-treating.
So we had most of our trick-or-treaters come through by then. We might have had a couple of groups of kids after this particular visit that came to the house. And there was this very hunched over, really weird-looking guy.
Yeah, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, it was unreal how low to the ground this monster was.
Yes.
And then there was this his wife, I assume, an elderly, creepy lady, very creepy, was kind of his sidekick.
Yeah.
And they knocked on the door. I'll explain our experience, and then you can explain yours. And Melissa was there, Melissa Burney. Paul was off getting a pizza at the time, and so the knock on the door, and they, trick or treat. Okay, pretty weird, pretty weird looking. So I got the bowl, which was suckers, stuck it out the door, and the man goes, "Chocolate. Do you have chocolate?" And I didn't really understand what he said. Kind of forced his way in the door.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, we have these two really creepy people in the dining room.
Yeah.
And the elder gentleman was all hunched over, and he was about eye level with the bowl of suckers on the table, and he kept looking at it. But every once in a while, he'd go, "Let me chocolate." I was starting to get creeped out, and
Yeah.
I think all of us were, and Joan and Melissa were standing there going, and we were laughing, but yet we were going, who are these people, and are they going to leave? Are they going to stay? Because they would just stand there and kind of creep you out. Then they went across, I understand, to your place.
They did, yes. Yeah, there was a knock on the door, and you're right, you described them well, and the same way at my place, they forced themselves in.
Yeah.
And I was laughing because I'll be honest with you, I at first thought it was you and Joan. I'm like, oh, Dave and Joan have put on masks and they're coming over to, kind of pull a prank on Brent and Shelley. And I was laughing. And then I realized this isn't Dave and Joan. And I'll be honest, I'm laughing because it was funny, but then all of a sudden the laughter that was coming out of me turned into more of a nervous laughter. Like, who are these people? And then finally, the masks were taken off, and then I really screamed. And no, just kidding. And it was Christy and Mark. It was fun. Yeah, they got me pretty good. That was funny.
Us too.
But yeah, it was. I don't think they ever. Mark never said anything. It was just grunts. I think when he came to our place. And then he kept swiping at my candy bowl, and next thing you know, he hit it, and the candy goes flying all over the place. And I was actually getting worried. I'm like, this guy looks like he's about ready to keel over.
Well, he was humped over bad. Yeah. Well, and what was really creepy about their masks were really, I guess, we were told afterwards from Christy that they were masks that her mom and dad had that they used to use to play tricks on people. So they've been around a while, but they're really creepy masks. And was really creepy when he was all bent over, and then he would kind of shuttle over to her, and then she would bend down and they would talk. I'm going, what are they going to do, murder us or what? That was fun.
Well, I will give Mark, I don't know how Mark was seeing through the mask, because when he came to our place, I was looking through the eye slits or whatever of the mask, and all I'm seeing is his forehead. I'm like, where in the world are you even looking out of the mask at? I think he was looking through the mouth of the mask. But yeah, it was fun.
That was a good
We
trip.
got a good laugh out of that.
That was a lot of fun. All right. And happy birthday, Mark. Happy birthday, Jody at Custer Federal. Anybody else celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating today, you're celebrating with Lyle Lovett.
Oh.
65 years old today, Grammy-winning country singer, first husband of actress Julia Roberts. And also happy birthday to Tim Cook. I might not recognize that name, but he is the CEO of Apple, 62 years old today. Rick Allen, drummer for Def Leppard, who lost his left arm in a car accident in 1984 but never stopped playing in the band. He is 59 today. Kaylee Bryant is 25. She starred in Disney's Kickin' It before playing Teen Witch Josie on Legacy. So those are some of the folks out there that are celebrating a birthday with you. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. It's also All Saints Day. The day after Halloween. Christian holiday remembers loved ones who have passed away. Tomorrow is Souls Day. It's National Brush Day. To brush your teeth extra good today from all the candy you probably ate last night. And by the way, that candy's going to be around for a while, and you'll have plenty of candy to eat, so you might want to make every day National Brush Day for a while. And also Prime Meridian Day. This is interesting. On this day in 1884, world leaders decided this would become Prime Meridian Day, or 0 degrees longitude. From there, they established the world's time zones.
Oh.
Without that, we'd still be setting our clocks to local sunset time, and we'd always miss Judge Judy.
Oh, okay.
Do we change our clocks this weekend?
I think so. Yep, I think we move them back. Move them back an hour.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Move them back an hour, get an extra hour of sleep.
That part's good, but going home in the dark very soon is not.
Mm-hmm.
Be a little lighter in the morning.
I was going to say, that's what I like, is it is lighter in the morning.
For a while.
Yeah.
Well, it's no use talking about it. We've talked about it every year. Why don't we just leave it where it is, or leave it on daylight savings time around the year?
It's when we move it. It's the other time change that bothers me, when we move it forward.
I just think if they would leave it on daylight savings time, then, we could take advantage of those longer evenings a little bit more often, and it would just stay the same. We could get more things done after work or play after work. But they can't seem to get it together to make that decision. We do have some states who don't change.
Mm-hmm.
Not happening for us here in Nebraska. We're going to take a time out. I do believe the phone is ringing. That means Mark Stock will be talking here in just a little bit. It's always fascinating to see and hear about all the different things that they have coming up for auction this week and how you can put your auction items on Big Iron Auction Company. So be sure and listen. That's coming up next. We'll talk with Mark in a moment.
If you're buying or selling used equipment and trucks, look no further than PurpleWave.com. We offer a wide selection of skid steers, dozers, loaders, backhoes, trucks, and more. Items are added daily to our regularly scheduled auctions, where everything sells to the highest bidders. Bidding is easy, so get started today. Visit PurpleWave.com. Straight, simple, sold.
Loop Basin Public Health Department.
Happy Halloween from your friends at Gary's Superfoods. USDA Choice Boneless Beef Arm Shoulder Roast is $3.99 a pound. Smithfield All Natural Boneless Pork Sirloin Roast are $1.99 a pound. Start your morning right with Reese's Puffs, Lucky Charms, Honey Nut Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or Cheerios, all 2 for $7. Cheez-It or Townhouse Crackers are only 2 for $6. Gary's Superfoods, South B Street in Broken Bow.
Loop Basin Public Health Department wants to keep you and your family safe this winter. Protect yourself by staying up to date with your COVID vaccinations, including your booster dose. Getting a booster dose means you will increase your protection against severe disease and continue protecting your loved ones and community against COVID-19. Get vaccinated today by calling 308-346-5795 to book your appointment or check out their social media outlets for more COVID information. Loop Basin Public Health Department wishes you a safe and healthy winter.
8:24. Mark Stock is on the line, as we mentioned. He is ready to go with his report. Good morning, Mark. Did you have a good Halloween?
I tell you what, the ghosts and goblins were out, and it was a beautiful evening for it, so everybody had a good time, and that's always nice. I know a lot of us can remember the storms and the rain and all that kind of stuff, so this was one of those good Halloweens to remember in the books.
Boy, is that's a good point. It was beautiful out there. I got to ask you a personal question before we turn you loose here. Did you bob for apples when you were younger?
Absolutely. I went to a one-room schoolhouse, and I was my own classmate for 8 years. So, we had 18 kids in our single-room schoolhouse, and that's where I graduated 8th grade. But every year our teacher, Mrs. Albright and Mrs. Buell, they were two teachers that I had during my lineage. We always had great Halloween and Valentine's were two of our greatest little things, So, but Halloween we get to dress up and bob for apples and do all kinds of stuff. It was fun.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a great way to grow up, Mark. And that really probably has a lot to do with the way you run your business in a way, kind of grounded and got your roots in the ground and just grow from there, right?
Well, it is true that my whole family, we had to walk to school every morning, and it was uphill both ways. I mean, that is honest to God truth because we lived on the other side of a hill. So,
so you had to do it. You're actually one that did it.
And we walked to school in the morning, and we walked home after school because that's just what we did. But your whole life experiences are important in what you decide to do and how you treat people. And we live in rural Nebraska, still live out in the country. I still live on a farm. I'm, happy to see the corn is all out, and I like to live a humble life and give back as much as I can, and it's all part of everything. But today, we're trying to help some folks in Hamilton County sell their real estate. The James Ryan Trust folks have trusted Jerry Haig and Big Iron Realty to sell 160 acres of pivot irrigated land to the highest bidder. And we take this very serious because, our job is to make sure we notify not only the neighbors and everybody that owns land within 25 miles, but the entire country that we've got some land selling today. You would be amazed at how many people that grew up in Fordville, Nebraska, because that's where this land is located, and now are exiting their workforce, and they have a lot of money in their 401k, and they want to invest in something other than the stock market. And a lot of them are choosing real estate and land. and some commercial properties, because they can look at it, see it, and touch it. And with all the reports that we've got coming out all the time about how much food is going to be needed to feed the growing population of the world, most people think land is a very good investment long term. So there may be somebody living in Houston that once grew up in Hordeville and has family still in Hordeville, and they'll buy this farm and they'll let their family members farm it and rent it from them. So that's our job, is to make sure that we get the word out to not only the locals, but everybody above and beyond, to draw their attention to what we're selling. And today's property, folks, pivot irrigated land, really nice farm that lays flat to very gently sloping, got some good drainage, got a Lockwood pivot on the property, and it will sell today to the highest bidder at 10 a.m. We got Jerry Haig, who is the Big Iron Realty listing agent at the Hordeville Community Hall this morning. The land is just 3 miles west of Hordeville on Highway 66, and then you go 1.5 miles south. But if you're looking for land in that area, it will be sold today. And then we've got a big sale tomorrow, folks, on machinery. November the 2nd, over 1,300 items selling on that huge sale. And boy, do we have some outstanding equipment, a lot of retirement auctions that are taking place. One of those is a big construction sale in Plymouth, Nebraska for Grabowski Construction. They've got a Cat D6R XW dozer, a Cat D6H dozer, a Cat 322 CL excavator, a Cat 627E scraper. And I'm just touching on a few of the big names. They got a lot of support equipment that will sell for Grabowski Construction on their retirement sale tomorrow. TNT Farms, they're from Burlington, Colorado. They've got a John Deere 8360R with about 4,000 hours, a John Deere 8300 tractor, a Brent 1194 Avalanche grain cart. They've got a 12-row John Deere 1760 series planter, a John Deere 9770 combine, and a whole list of other things. Plus, we've got a big sale that is taking place in Colorado for Ritchie Land and Cattle. The estate sale, folks, features a lot of drills and some tillage equipment, so you want to check that out. If you're in the market, folks, for tractors, for semi-trucks, for construction equipment, the sale to be checking out is tomorrow on Big Iron. And there's a retirement sale in Illinois that features a New Holland 8050 tractor that's got less than 400 hours on it. So check that out. That's a great tractor being sold with no reserve. Then on Thursday, November the 3rd, Larry Beeler is retiring. We got his retirement sale. Harrington, Kansas is he's from. And check out the John Deere 9500 combine with only 1,696 separator hours. Folks, sit down for this one. A 2008 John Deere 8230 one-owner tractor will sell for the Larry Beeler retirement sale. It only has 702 hours. And he's got the tractor that has everybody talking about, a 2001 John Deere 7810 mechanical front with only 1,316 hours. There are bids from New York, from Montana, from Florida. There are all over on some of the equipment that Larry Beeler is selling because it's so low-houred. A John Deere 4050 tractor with 5,900 hours. A John Deere 4030 with only 4,492 hours. That's a 1977 model. That's the last year they made the 30 Series tractor. He's got some restored 3020 and 3010s. He's got a John Deere 4895 Swather. Now, Larry was a John Deere mechanic and a farmer. So his equipment is unbelievable. I don't believe it's ever sat outside a day in its life except when it was in the field. And he's very meticulous. So check that out. Selling on Thursday of this week on BigIron.com. Also on Thursday, folks, a little closer to home, we got 320 acres selling on the western end of Boone County, Nebraska, and 2 tracts for Andy and Sherry Zoha, pivot irrigated farmland that will sell on November the 3rd. Check that out. We have 80 acres in Platte County selling for the Stensinus Irrevocable Trust. That's located on the north end of St. Edward, Nebraska, right on the Boone and Platte County line. And then just up the road, folks, in Luke County, Nebraska, there's 640 acres that the hunting rights will be sold on. So if you want to go hunting in Luke County on 640 acres, go to the November 3rd sale calendar on BigIron.com and check out this property that's got a lot of tree cover and it's got a lot of deer and turkey traffic. So if you and a couple of your buddies and a couple of your hunting gals want to go out and shoot some big 30-pointers, by golly, you got a chance to have some exclusive hunting rights where you guys determine what that's worth to you. Go to BigIron.com for all the terms. those are kind of what's going on this week. And we do want to remind everybody that our December sales, since we're November 1st here, are now being listed. And December is usually some of the largest auctions all year because we've got a lot of folks that like to retire, and we got a lot of folks that check out their inventory of equipment, and they look at items that they haven't used the last couple of years. And we strongly encourage you to do so this year because there's been a lot of $7 and $8 corn being sold. There's been a lot of $13, $14, and $15, $16 soybeans being sold, old crop and some new $13 and $14 crop opportunities. And those farmers out there that want to expand their operations and upgrade their equipment are going to be looking in December to do it because they can also utilize the 175 tax depreciation program that is being used and offered. So please look over your list of inventory of equipment. Get a hold of Henry Knoxville. Get a hold of Matt Cook. Get a hold of Ryan Harbour. Get a hold of Ryan Harder. Get a hold of any one of the reps, Kevin Adamson. All these folks are ready to come out here when the weather is still nice to get your equipment listed to sell in December. And I believe the last sale in December is going to be a massive 3-day sale, which is going to be the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the last 3 days of December. We've already got equipment listed. We've already got a lot of retirement sales during those times. And you can still get your equipment listed if you act quickly. Pick up the phone and give us a call at 800-937-3558.
All right, Mark. You know, we just love sitting here listening to all the different things that you talk about during your reports. But I do have to just say your excitement level goes up just a little bit when you start talking about those tractors.
Oh, I tell you what, when you find a John Deere 7810 out in the country that's got 1,300 hours on it, that is something that's rare. That's very rare. Oh, and a little teaser, we have got a sale in Quartzsite, Arizona for a family. They're in their 80s, a man and their wife. They've collected cars their entire life. They have over 800,
Wow.
Okay?
Oh, my gosh.
And they have hired Big Iron to sell their cars over several months. And we're going to have about 100 of them selling on our December 8th Classic Car Sale. And if you want to see some extremely interesting stuff, Quartzsite, Arizona is a dry climate area.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these cars have been parked outside, some of these have been inside, but there's no humidity. So these cars have zero rust, okay? And they are some that are in good enough condition to drive in a parade, and there are a lot of them that you just need to do a nice little body work on them, repaint them, and then you're going to have some unbelievable cars. But we're going to be posting these cars over the next week or so. Check out these classic cars, and our classic car sale deadline is coming up really, really quick. If you've got a classic car you want to get sold in December, call us as well. But guys, I tell you what, your heart's going to beat really fast when you see some of these vehicles.
Oh, that sounds exciting, Mark. Always fun to talk to you. Look forward to your report next week.
All right, thank you guys. We'll see you later.
All right. Wow, they got it going on. That's cool.
It is, yeah.
Classic tractors, classic cars, 600 acres of hunting ground. Sometimes they're talking cattle. Sometimes they're talking, farm equipment. Man, 800 cars?
I know, yeah. They sell it all.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we move along, Brent and I need to talk a little bit seriously for a moment.
Oh, boy, serious talk?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd I do wrong now?
No.
Oh,
my
not
friend.
that?
No,
okay,
no.
all
Neighbor,
right.
good friend, neighbor,
All right.
co-host.
So what do we need to talk seriously about?
We had dinner yesterday at the Tumbleweed Cafe.
We did, yes.
Boy,
Delicious.
we were taken care of. We got a big table. Almost everybody from here was there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun to see what each person ordered at the Tumbleweed. I really enjoyed that. And also how this crew knew there was no decision making, really. I mean, they knew what they wanted to have.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've all been to the Tumbleweed before. We kind of know the menu.
Yeah. And it was like, yes, with a little of this particular salad dressing. And I don't know, it's just interesting to see what the crew, we don't eat together that often.
Yeah.
And then to go to the Tumbleweed where you can, get lots of different home-cooked style meals off the menu. The only thing I noticed, none of us had the courage to order dessert after we'd had our meals because you're full.
You are.
So, sometimes you might want to save just a little room for that ice cream on top of that pie. So we didn't. Next time we go, we'll probably maybe stress that. Let's just hold off a little bit. Maybe I wouldn't have to have 2 cheeseburgers. I could just have 1 cheeseburger with some ice cream and with chocolate on it afterwards.
Yeah.
Waitress was wonderful. Food was great. Company was good. And you can do the same thing at the Tumbleweed Cafe. Go out with, some friends, family, sit around the table and talk. We ran into some old high school acquaintance that we just happened to run into there when we were walking in. You'll probably see somebody you know at the Tumbleweed Cafe, whether it's someone who lives here in town. When they come to visit Broken Bow, they got to go to the Tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Have something to eat. They're there 7 days a week for you, and they have specials. They are very reasonable with their meals, and just recommend you go there if you haven't been there for a while. Tumbleweed Cafe, East Highway 2, Broken Bow, Nebraska. Now, I just can't get this song out of my head, and now Bruce Springsteen's released another song that I don't have in the playlist yet, but it's an old Ben E. King song that he covered. And the name of the song, I think, is You Lied, but I don't have that one in yet.
Okay.
You're going to like it.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Because he did you said he's coming out with an album that's just nothing but covers of R&B songs.
Yeah, soul and R&B. Yeah. And Benny King, of course, Stand By Me was one that really rings a bell with most people. But he had a lot of songs that he performed and wrote. The particular song that Springsteen is covering that I don't have ready to go yet, Benny King's wife also helped him write it. So there's a little history with each song, and Springsteen selected some of his old favorites. It may not be as ones that you go, oh yes, I remember that one. He's digging a little deeper than that. But this one certainly was a big hit, and Springsteen covered it. And that album should be coming out sometime later this month, and he's kind of trickling singles out here. I think he's released 3 of them, and this is the one we played the other day. The latest from Bruce Springsteen, one called Night Shift. Good to have you along. It's 8:45.
Now, that was also an 80s song.
Yeah,
right?
somebody covered it later.
The Commodores did it, I think, in the 80s, and it was a big hit for them.
And I honestly don't know, without looking it up, who originally did Night Shift.
Yeah.
So we'll have to go back and do some research on that. But yeah, it was covered in the 80s as well. And I think a lot of different people may have worked on that one. Kind of fit different styles.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Anything you wanted to mention before we move along here this morning?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, we kind of talked about football. We'll be covering SEM on Friday night. Talked about that already.
All right. Halloween is behind us. Had a lot of fun with that. Going to have some more football. Won't be long. We'll be looking at winter sports.
Correct. I kind of put the broadcast schedule together. It's being checked over at the moment.
Okay. Sales ladies helping you with that?
Yeah, Jeremy's helping me with that because we've got a few nights where we're going to try to do more than one thing. So we got to make sure we have the personnel available to pull that off.
That just seems to be, I've always told people, when they ask about the radio station and I guess details about it, I just tell them, I don't really believe, and I truly mean this, that since the Crawfords put the radio station on the air in 1949, the heart started beating in this place, and it started having a destiny of its own, and they owned and operated it for many years, and later Dick Yancey operated it, and Cheryl Smith, and then I operated it, and still doing so, but I just feel like nobody really owns it. It's kind of like the way I feel about land. You own it for a while, your name's on it, but it has its own destiny and heartbeat, and land is going to be there after we're gone. I hope the radio station is still here after we're gone, but it's owned by the communities that listen to it. And the base there is broader than ever because of the internet and so forth. But it's just always had a heartbeat of its own. That being said, one of the things, I guess, going clear back to Tom Hilkemeyer and Larry and myself and others who were trying to do sports and put together programming, we're always trying to do that extra multiple thing. Maybe we could squeeze in one more over here, and we could do 5. Remember when Cheryl Smith was the manager, and we set a new record on how many remotes we did in one day. It was kind of a business feature. Well, we had to find a phone line, and we were using the old black box with the dial telephone, and we had another unit that we thought was really fancy that we had bought, and we were going two different, one would be broadcasting, the other would be going to another place, and we were doing that bounce thing. I don't remember how many we did, but quite a few. And that was the challenge. How many can we do to feature these different businesses and highlight their services and products? And that just seems to always to be something that looms in the air here. Couldn't we get another game in if we did this? And so and so could go if we could get one more person. And that's what you guys are trying to do.
Kinda.
Yeah. You don't even know it, but it's the destiny here. You try
I
to
believe that.
Cover as much as you can for the communities that support us and everybody else. Good to have you along. As long as we're kind of in that mood, I found we do have a Marvin Gaye song, which would fit into that same category that you might recognize. It's called I'll Be Doggone. Marvin Gaye on the radio. Soul for you. 8:52. Feel good music. Oh, no.
Oh, what's wrong now?
Oh. So disappointed. No. Stan told me yesterday. I stopped and saw Stan.
Oh, at the Whiskey Barrel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No winners in the $1 billion Powerball last night.
Oh, yes.
I felt very, very confident about winning that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. What I think Shelley was reading about it last night, and what did she tell me? The chances of matching all 6 numbers or whatever it is something like 1 in 272 million. That's like your chance.
Well, somebody has to win it.
Well, sooner or later somebody will. But it's over $1 billion. Is that right? Or it's at $1 billion?
It was at $1 billion yesterday. It's at $1.2 billion now.
Man.
And if you wanted to take the cash buyout, in other words, not, take it so much a year.
Right.
And I don't know why you wouldn't. It would be a smidge over $600 million just straight up cash payment.
But now think about that. I mean, okay, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
We all know. But it was over $1 billion, and that's what you get.
$600 million before taxes, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then they take taxes off of that.
$334,000.
So where does all the other, if you take the lump sum, okay, where does all that other money go? What right?
Well, that's really supposed to...
Is that okay for me to ask? Because I'm confused by that. Because you're saying that's what you get, and then that's what you would get if you take the lump sum, but then that is taxed.
Yes, $600 million. I'm going to guess, I'm not a tax expert by any means, but the government's going to get 30% of that, 35% of that, probably, when you take a big lump sum like that.
So where did all that other money go? That, from the $1 billion?
Well, that's a good question. It's supposed to go, isn't it supposed to go to, like, schools and things like that? I mean, the Nebraska lottery claims that that's where it goes to as different programs.
So that if you take the lump sum, what you didn't get goes back. The lottery takes it.
I don't know.
Oh,
they're just playing on here because they say
I don't play the lottery, and I just really don't know how it works.
I don't either. This is the first ticket I've bought for a long,
did you buy
time.
One?
Yeah, and that's why I was so disappointed. I felt confident about it.
So did you pick your numbers, or did you do the what is it, the quick pick?
Yeah, where it just rolls out numbers and gives them to you. I don't pick numbers. I guess I don't know with those kind of odds that it makes a lot of difference whether you pick them or whether it rolls them out. But I don't know. I'm like you. I don't play it that often, and it's stupid because I only have ever played it when it's like a jackpot like this. I don't ever buy them.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that discussion with Stan then was, well, what would you do with it? And Stan says he's heard that conversation with some of the coffee group for years.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's, well, what I would do if I won $300 million, what would I do? And that's an interesting conversation because you'd like to think, I think most of us would like to think we would do good things with the money. Give back and do some things, like, I don't know, if there was something you thought, if I had enough money, I would help the community do this. I would give more money to the ships that go and do operations on kids overseas that need operations they're never going to get otherwise. Those sorts of things. And I hope that's what you would do if you won that kind of money. And not that you wouldn't go ahead and maybe go buy that car that you always wanted to buy. I mean, there would be nothing wrong with that. But I wouldn't want to live anywhere else than the house we've lived in for so many years. So I'm not going to go buy a new house. It would depend on your age, wouldn't it? I mean, if you were 25 and you won $300 million, you might be more apt to get a little crazy with it than if you're a little older because you've already figured out that money doesn't make you happy. So,
yeah. So when is the next drawing?
I believe it's Friday. Let's see what it says here. That doesn't really say. I think it. I don't know. I should not. I don't pay enough attention to it.
That's me. I don't either.
But then, like, would you stay up late and wait to see if your numbers were called?
No.
Especially when the odds are like that.
I mean, if your odds are 1 in 272 million or whatever it is.
Oh, it's a couple bucks for fun, I guess. And, if you don't get carried away with it.
And you never know. I mean, it's like you said, someone will win it.
Yeah, someone will win it. And
someday.
Again, go into the same speech here, same thoughts. It would be more justified if they said, you've got $1 billion and everybody, we're going to have 25 or 30 winners or whatever and split it up more to where it was spread around a little bit more. But I think when they don't have a big jackpot like this, then dummies like me buy a ticket. And if they don't, then you don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
No, I don't need 5 million, right?
Yeah. You know what? I'll buy a ticket. Yeah, it's $1 billion. I'll buy a ticket.
Yeah, what the
Now
heck?
that it's up to $1 billion.
knocked out. Discounts save you money, and then you already have it done when spring rolls around. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer in Broken Bow. Call today at 872-7786, follow them on Facebook, or visit CusterEI.com. Custer Electric and Irrigation, experience the difference.
Thank you to Custer Electric and Irrigation for bringing us weather and news at 9 here on The Breakfast Show. 32 degrees outside under a sunny sky. Winds are calm. It's really nice out there. A high yesterday of 72. We're going to exceed that today, maybe into the mid-70s.
Wow.
Fantastic. Good day to maybe take a walk and get a little exercise. And when you do that, you kind of need to loosen up a little bit because you get kind of maybe a little stiff and sore. And if you had a good friend that would let you drop by and drop into the old hot tub and kind of take some of those aches and pains out, that would be really nice, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
If we had a hot tub, it's a whirlpool.
Hi, Jessica. How you doing?
Good morning.
Off-Broadway Assisted Living. Jessica Burnett is here.
Good morning.
Just a little hint, just thinking about, maybe I could walk by the place and bring my trunks, drop into the hot tub there, and just relax a little bit. Kind of take a look around.
Yeah. We would love to give you a tour, Dave. Love it.
Do you give people tours?
Absolutely.
How do you get a tour set up?
So you can always swing by during the week. Jody or I are usually there, but most of the time it'd be nice if you would give us a quick call, so then we can be prepared. We can have the paperwork there, so we can ask general questions of the health of your loved ones or yourself, as well as just so then there's no hiccups and we've got everything together for you. So it's just nice if you just give a call.
Makes sense.
Yep.
What will they be looking at now? You have some rooms available?
Yes, we do have a few rooms available. We have one moving in this week. We had one move in last week. We're super busy. So right now is the time with the snow coming, and even if you're just thinking over the wintertime you don't want to deal with the winter and the snow and your transportation to doctor's appointments, this would be the time. You could give us a call and we can get you set up and you can move in, and then and then in the spring, if you decide that I want to move back home for the summertime, you can do that. So
and that's fantastic.
Yeah. So some people, just the winter, the loneliness, the not being able to get out, that's a huge factor. And so absolutely, if you want to just give us, just stay with us over the winter months and let us take care of you so you don't have to worry about anything, that's what we're here for. So
okay. Set up a little time to come in, take a look around at those. Shouldn't call them rooms, by the way. They're apartments.
They're super nice apartments.
Yeah.
We've got they're all unique, everyone. Some of them have refrigerators and stoves in them. Some just have the microwave. It depends on what you're looking for. I'm going to be honest, a lot of them don't use them because we get 3 healthy meals a day and snacks throughout the day that we're constantly doing things with our residents. So one lady does a little baking, but majority of them utilize the meals right in the dining room. They're all homemade, fresh, made from scratch, nothing from a box.
Yeah, that's hard to beat.
Yep. Yeah. So it's super nice.
Maybe a little ice cream for dessert?
Yes, we actually have chocolate and vanilla this week. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is the chocolate pretty chocolate? Like, is it pretty dark chocolate or?
It's just about regular soft serve.
Soft serve chocolate with
Yep.
maybe that, a little of that before you hop into the old hot tub would be nice.
Get cold and then get warmed up.
Yeah, or vice versa. Maybe get in and then have a little ice cream after you get out.
Yeah.
I see you eating ice cream while you're in the whirlpool.
That would be nice, too.
I don't know if the caregivers and med aides would care for that. So
Probably not. They probably have some rules.
Yeah.
Like you have to live there. Like you have to live there to use it, right?
Probably. I'm sure they would appreciate it. So, yeah.
Can't just folks. You just can't drop in and ask if you can use the whirlpool hot tub.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So, but I do want to give a shout out. Judy Winquist opened up her home last week, and our residents was able to go during the week and go visit her little haunted house. We love to do things with our residents. So if you have things that you do throughout the community and you would like our residents to come and check out and look at, we would love to take them. We took them to the parade. We took them to Judy's house to see her haunted house, and they were just amazed by her little setup that she has. It's just awesome.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So grateful, and so grateful that our residents can absolutely take advantage of those things. And we do the transportation. You don't have to worry about taking yourself or, that type of thing. And then we had our trick-or-treaters last Thursday come through, and then we had our little Halloween party yesterday. So it's been very, very busy.
But all for fun, and that happens through the different seasons, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, whatever. It seems like you always have something in conjunction with the seasons.
Yep, we're working on Thanksgiving, doing a big Thanksgiving dinner and for the residents. And so, if you absolutely have anything that you have in the community that, you would love our residents, that we could be able to go and take them and let them partake in, if it works out with your schedule and our schedule and our abilities, we'd love to make it happen. So we want our residents to be active and be involved in the community. So
okay, all right, folks, if you're interested in taking a tour, maybe thinking about getting in before the winter snow hits, what's the phone number again?
308-872-2522. You can always take a virtual tour as well at offbroadwayapartments.com, and you can always check us out on Facebook on Off Broadway Apartments. So we would love to have you come visit. If you know a friend, we do have the referral bonus. And we also have a winter special going on. So if you are interested whatsoever, we would love to give us a call, Jody or I, and we can get it all set up and get you moved in.
Okay, all right. Any questions there, my good friend, my co-host?
No, I don't think so. I saw that you have your newsletter here.
Yes.
Anything on there you want to touch on?
Yes. So in December 14th, we are going, just a little heads up, we're going to have a free matinee at the Fox Theater. It's called The Forgotten Carols at 2 p.m. that anybody can come. Jody, I, and Kim, the office manager, will be helping serve up the concession stands with, is it Tanya that's in charge? Yep, so we're going to be doing a little matinee for anybody that would like to come and watch the movie with us. Nice.
Okay. And be watching your Facebook page, because when things pop up, you post. And
absolutely. But the main thing is that we're here as a community to help the residents, the people that need our services. We would love to help them. So
okay, all right. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I didn't make your partner mad last time.
No.
She's out. She's not.
I think she's planning maybe something for you. I don't know. Maybe that's what she's doing. I don't know. Maybe make you worry a little bit.
Oh. Okay.
I doubt it, but it sounded good.
Thanks for coming in.
Yes,
Off-Broadway.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Off-Broadway here in Broken Bow. I think it's the tallest building in town.
Yep.
It's got an elevator.
Yes, it does. 308-872-2522, and it's on South 1st Street.
All
We'd
right.
love to have you.
Thank you very much. We'll take a time out with these words on this Tuesday.
Welcome to all of the One Box hunters and guests from your friends at Bow Bootery. To celebrate the fun of One Box, we're marking 20% off of fashion boots. This includes brands like Clark's, Bourne, Earth, Springstep, Teva, and many more. We'd love to see you step through our doors at Bow Bootery. Proud to be Broken Bow's home-owned shoe store. Come and save with us. Happy hunting and One Box fun from Bow Bootery.
If you're buying or selling used equipment and trucks, look no further than PurpleWave.com. We offer a wide selection of skid steers, dozers, loaders, backhoes, trucks, and more. Items are added daily to our regularly scheduled auctions, where everything sells to the highest bidders. Bidding is easy, so get started today. Visit PurpleWave.com. Straight, simple, sold.
Did you know there's a conservative advocacy and benefits organization with over 2 million members and counting? It's AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Here are 3 reasons why you should consider joining AMAC right now. First, AMAC saves you money. From discounts on travel and lodging, cell phones and plans, access to insurance products, and more. Joining AMAC is a powerful tool against inflation. Second, with a bi-monthly magazine, daily website content, podcasts with America's thought leaders, and an app that delivers insightful coverage of the issues that matter most, AMAC is a trusted source of information. And third, the reason that people say is their favorite is that AMAC fights for your conservative values on Capitol Hill. With more than 2 million members, AMAC is a voice that cannot be ignored, working tirelessly to preserve the freedoms secured by our Constitution. Go to amac.us/liberty and join today. That's amac.us/liberty. amac.us/liberty.
It's 9:15. Brent and Dave with you. Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Oh, what's up, Dave? Oh, Dave's looking at his cell phone.
Just in.
Okay.
Today.
Breaking news.
Is Shannon Cooksley's birthday.
Oh.
On this Tuesday, November 1st.
All right.
What a nice lady, person.
Yes.
Human being.
Mm-hmm.
She's okay. I like her. You know, when she first came here, she wasn't from here. She married into this area. She married Kevin, and I wasn't sure about her when she first came here, but she's pretty nice.
Oh, good.
Honestly, she's always been sweet as pie since she
yes.
came in. She's a wonderful
Indeed.
person, and yeah, I can remember when Shannon used to work at the Chamber of Commerce many years ago, and been involved a lot of. If there's something happening good, you'll probably find Shannon around somewhere. She's usually behind the scenes or up front somewhere. Happy birthday, Shannon. You're great. Brent.
David.
What's going on at Sylvester's? They just had a big weekend last weekend with their Halloween party and their get-together for the Big Red on Saturday. What's coming up this weekend?
Well, this Friday night, you can awaken your senses with the Innocents. They're coming to town. Coming back to Sly's, and no cover.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, no cover charge. You should probably cover yourselves up, but
yeah.
no cover charge.
You know, if you say no cover, we sure don't want Freddie taking that literally. I mean, oh, Lord.
Anyway, they'll be performing from 9 to 1, and this is on Friday night, so grab your friends and head over to Sly's. The Innocents has shared the stage with the likes of Boston, Cheap Trick, Foreigner, and Kansas.
Wow.
Yeah, when you're sharing the stage and opening up for those people, you're good. So come on out and enjoy the Innocents, playing a little bit of everything. You won't be disappointed. That is Friday night. And then the following day, you can come back and watch the Huskers. Freddie always puts on a good party to watch the Big Red on the big screen. So come on out and enjoy the game with your friends at Sylvester's. It's an early kickoff, 11 a.m., as Nebraska takes on Minnesota. And as always at Sylvester's, when you watch the game, they've got those first and third quarter happy hour specials and munchies as well. It's all at Sylvester's, known as the Quiet Little Place.
That rocks!
There you go. Sylvester's, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
Can you tell anything by what people eat? Like when we were at the Tumbleweed yesterday, what they order?
Huh, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I do. Can we say this? Shannon was real picky.
Yeah, she kind of.
I mean, it was like everybody, they're going around the table. And it's like, Dave, I have a hamburger. Jeremy, I have your hot beef sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else, I have a hot beef sandwich. Grant, like bacon cheeseburger.
That's right.
And then they got to Shannon. I'll have 2 eggs over easy, please. Toast, wheat, and then the hamburger steak patty. If I could have the gravy on the side, please. Brown gravy, please. And on and on and on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I found that interesting.
Where'd she come from? I mean, Grant's from Omaha, and he just has a bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah. I think that I think that they got everybody's order on one ticket except Shannon's, and then hers was her
The
own
entire
ticket because the poor waitress had to write out all of these instructions
Wow.
for the cook. You know.
I talked to Grant a little bit after the dinner because I was kind of concerned because a lot of us confessed things during our dinner yesterday.
Grant was quiet.
He didn't come through on that.
Yeah.
And I asked him, "Where'd you graduate from high school?" Kind of pry a little bit, trying to get to know a little bit more. Did you get into trouble when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Do you have stories about things you wish you wouldn't have done?
That really was kind of the topic of conversation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was about everybody's past and some of the things that they did and maybe shouldn't have.
And what started that was Joan and I running into the old classmate.
Yeah.
And it brought back some memories about some epic party events many years ago.
And I must say, you and Joan kind of dominated the conversation when we got on those topics.
That's pretty sad, isn't it? That's very sad. But we didn't get squat out of Grant.
No, he was very quiet. Grant and Kristen.
Yeah, Kristen's kind of that way.
Very quiet.
What happens in Berwyn stays in Berwyn. What happens in Omaha stays in Omaha. But except for the rest of us, what happened, we'll just go ahead and tell you.
Yeah, we're open about it.
All right, here's a little soul sweet song from the Stashy Trucks Band on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Good morning.
After the tears and the spade of lonely days.
Check us out on the web at pearsonpt.com. Get the treatment you need and the care you deserve at Pearson Physical Therapy.
Golden Harvest Gold Series soybeans are bred to win. These 19 varieties have strong agronomics within high-demand trait platforms like Enlist E3 soybeans for superior performance all season long. Gold Series soybeans also out-yielded Astro brand soybeans by an average of 1 bushel per acre in 5,542 comparisons. Grow gold at goldenharvestseeds.com/gold-series.
It is 9:25. This just in, and I hope Grant is paying attention to this too. He's kind of on my mind this morning because of some of the holding out he did yesterday with information.
Yeah. Well, listen, now this isn't maybe right on our part. Maybe he wasn't holding out. He just didn't do anything bad when he's growing up. He's just, you know what I mean? Always stayed home, or was always home by 9 o'clock. You don't know that.
Well, we don't know anything.
You're kind of I think you're kind of assuming here that he was holding back. Maybe he had nothing to share because he just always been a good all around guy.
Well, that's a possibility. I'm not ruling that out, but if he doesn't come forward and tell us some
I
stories.
really didn't have much to share.
Well, I did ask you if
you did,
because I knew the answer to that.
Yeah,
because we've talked about it before. Well, anyway,
okay.
This just in.
Yes.
Now, is everybody, because Grant is a single guy, right? We do know that.
As far as I know, I don't know.
I'm not trying to pry into his personal life, but here's the story on it.
Okay.
Stress from marriage is a key factor in heart attacks.
Oh, heavens.
Yeah. Scientists at Yale say just being married can increase your chances of having a heart attack.
Well, okay.
So Grant's the only one here that stands a chance. They found several marital stress factors could make recovering from one even harder. So can cause a heart attack, and you won't come back as fast if you're married.
This is let me guess, this is according to a study.
At Yale.
Yeah.
Highly respected educational facility. Married life appears to be harder on women than men.
Oh.
Yeah. With 40% of brides reporting severe stress, compared to 30% of grooms. They also found married people were 50% more likely to be admitted to the hospital.
Oh. Okay.
Moving along.
Yes.
The Nebraska Department of Transportation is currently accepting applications for a highway maintenance worker in Ansley. For a full job description or to apply, go to statejobs.nebraska.gov. An online state application must be completed. The state of Nebraska is an equal opportunity veterans preference employer, and you can take a look at these details on the employment page of sandhillsexpress.com.
Here's another job opportunity. Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership looking for an individual to work as an infant toddler teacher center specialist. 40 hours per week, year-round. It's here in Broken Bow. Good starting wage, right around $20 an hour to start. Looking for someone with a valid Nebraska driver's license, a working phone, child development associate certificate, an associate or bachelor's degree in early childhood education. Would prefer someone with experience working with infants and toddlers, income qualifying families, and past supervisory experience. You would be responsible for center coordination, supervision, and teaching. To find out more, contact CNCAP, the Human Resource Department, at 308-745-0780, extension 0, or you can apply online at centralnebraskacap.com.
I had a dream about Liana last night at Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency.
Okay.
It was a dream about the outfit that she had on when she was on the breakfast show. On that one that I was having a dream about.
Okay.
And it was paisley, with big paisley.
Oh.
On it, and
okay.
her dress. And she was talking very adamantly about enrollment. Very important to check your Part D prescription plan.
Oh.
As there's always changes with drugs covered and costs and so forth. It's very easy to check and make sure with your pharmacy as well, and Liana promotes that. Covering all the bases is very important. Asking questions about Medicare advertising that goes on this time of year is also a very, very good idea, because there's a lot of, there are people that go on and go, it's all about money. Be careful with those ads that sound too good to be true. Under 65 private health insurance annual open enrollment starts today, runs through January 15th. If you need the policy in place for January 2023, it needs to be done by December 15th. There are important carrier changes for 2023, with Bright Health leaving Nebraska's market and Blue Cross Blue Shield coming back in. So it can be a little confusing, and you need to make sure that you're going the right path on this. Appointments with Liana can be made at the offices here in Broken Bow, Callaway, or anywhere else that's convenient, because they have offices elsewhere. The number is 308-836-2201 Paisley. No, I'm just kidding. 308-836-2201. Also, Tina Hurt is the new agent right here in Broken Bow, and she's available for quoting your home, auto, farm, and ranch commercial insurance. And stop in and see her. She's a great gal. I'm not sure if she wears paisley or not, but I'm betting she does. 308-872-6996. And fall is a great time to sit down and review the coverages that you need to make during this time of year. It's very important.
There you go.
And they'd love a chance to serve you. And I dreamt in the dream, or I found out in the dream, that Liana could work part-time here at the station. Now, how in the world she could do that in real life, I don't know, because she has a family and she has these businesses everywhere. But in this dream, she wanted to come back and assist Kristen at the front desk.
Oh.
And get her to wear paisley.
Okay. All right. I tell you, you know what? I would, someone who interprets dreams, and I think there are people that do that, right? Interpret dreams. You would be a fabulous case study. First off, I don't know how you so vividly remember your dreams, because you share your dreams a lot on the air.
I do.
And I don't, because I dream. I was dreaming all over the place last night, but I couldn't tell you. All I know is it was weird. I couldn't really describe.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Describe my dream.
Chip was in a dress.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was not. Moving right along. But I'm serious. You would be a fabulous case study. Here's a job opportunity. Country Partners Co-op in Callaway is looking for a service station attendant. This person will be responsible for performing service work on vehicles, including but not limited to oil changes and tire repairs, loading and unloading merchandise, servicing gas and diesel pumps, working with propane, counter sales and administrative duties such as inventory, and you would be maintaining a clean and safe work environment. Now, you must have a valid operator's license with approved driving record and the ability to obtain your CDL, be able to lift 75 pounds, and have good customer service skills. You can apply online by going to countrypartnerscoop.com.
Thank you, Brent.
You're welcome, Dave.
The Cleaning Shack. That's what we'd like to talk about next.
Okay. Oh, yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. Dry cleaning.
Yes. That's very astute of you to know that.
Thanks.
Cleaning Shack is right here in Broken Bow, and they want to help you with your dry cleaning. Let's face it, there's some garments you just need to have dry cleaned, and you can ruin them if you don't. And they're really nice and clean, and they're, not wrinkly.
Mm-hmm.
They look good on you. It's worth it. Drop off your garments at the Quilting Shack on East Highway 2. Deadline by 11:30 tomorrow. You'll have them back the following Wednesday by 3. Make sure to check out the Quilting Shack. They have a great variety of projects and material available while you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And they are open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5:30, and Saturdays, 11 till 4. They got it going on there. They got the Smoke Shack, the Cleaning Shack, and the Quilting Shack all right there in that same location.
Yeah.
And they'd love to have you stop in. Take a look around the store. The Quilting Shack is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so well done in there. They put a lot of work into that. They'd love to have you stop by and maybe get involved in some projects for the winter.
There you go. Can you buzz Christy?
Oh, I'd love to.
Please. Got a question.
Okay.
For some reason, the Quilting Shack live read reminded me that I need to ask her a question.
Hello.
Hi, Christy. Brent here on the Breakfast Show. We're live.
Okay.
The intercom is being broadcast over the radio, just so you know. A quick question for you. You made the outfits for us yesterday for the trunk or treat. We were M&Ms, and we got you a shirt,
Yes, I
and
did.
of course you put the M on it. Okay, this is my question. What do I do with the M? Can I take it off the shirt? Does it need to stay on
Well,
the
you
shirt?
have to just
What?
cut the, because it's really loosely stitched.
Okay.
Just cut the stitching and, undo it.
Okay.
Get a little seam ripper or something if you need to, but you shouldn't need to. And then just, take your M off. You can give it back to me if you'd like. That way,
Well, that-
if we ever want to do this again or something else comes up, we'll have them.
Well, that was my question. Do I, if I take the M off the shirt, which you say I can, do you want the M back?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
do
you
want
give
the
back.
M back. Boy, you're pretty emphatic about that. Yikes. Okay, so I'll take the M off the shirt and get it back to you. Is there any time frame that you would like the M back?
No.
Oh.
Just
okay.
at your convenience, Brent.
Oh.
I wouldn't want to stress you out over it.
Okay. Well, I'm just checking. Because
Okay.
I took my shirt was laying there this morning. I looked at it and I got to thinking, well, maybe I don't know what to do with this. Maybe I'm not even supposed to take the M off the shirt.
No,
I can't.
It's your shirt.
Yeah,
want you
it
to be
is.
able to
I
do
bought it.
something else with your new red shirt now. So
Yeah, bought a
you can
new
just
red
give me
shirt
back the
because I
M.
was going to be the only red M&M, so I spent money to get a pure red shirt, and then turned out to be I wasn't the only red M&M. But we've discussed that. So, okay, so you want the M back.
Yes.
Okay.
Christy.
What?
Thanks for doing that, first of all. That was really, really cool. Of course, I'm the Jack Benny of the group here.
Yes.
Do you think we could, next year, just turn the M's upside down and make them into W's, and then we could be like Wonder Woman and Wonder Man or something like that?
Well, we could be. That'd be kind of fun. All superheroes. We can come up with something.
Yeah, we could just, turn it upside down and save some labor and some cash there.
Yes. Yeah, that's an idea. We're already thinking of different ideas for next year.
I'm sure you are. Hey, do you think do I need to apologize to Grant?
When he came back here, I said, well, Grant, you've been here long enough that, we feel comfortable just dogging on you now all the time. So
Yeah.
that's how it'll be.
Well, I'm going to apologize to him and tell him I'm never going to do that sort of thing again.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure that will stick, but okay.
Because I've told you that before, and I know I've straightened out with you.
Yeah. From experience, I know how that goes.
Thanks, Christy.
So you want the M back?
Goodbye.
You want the M back?
What did he say?
Do you want the M back?
Yes, I want the M back. Why is he asking me that?
Because we knew we'd get that reaction. Thanks, Christy.
Goodbye.
Okay. Grant, would you come in here for a moment? I feel like I need to do this, Would you have a chair, young man?
Well, you're a member of the radio family now.
Hey, Grant, I on the show this morning, I was kind of alluding to the fact that maybe that you weren't, expounding additional information about your life in Omaha.
Oh, sure.
And I just want to let you know, I'm sorry about that. I apologize for trying to puncture into your personal life, and that was just awful of me to do that. And I'm not going to do it again. And I just want you to know, if you tell us what you want to tell us about what it's like to live in Omaha and when you went to the zoo when you were little and that sort of thing. That's your own. You can do that as you may.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet. I'm sorry.
Dave's really good at apologizing.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah.
Probably comes from a lot of practice.
Yeah, don't expect it to be sincere, but it's an apology nonetheless.
Well, I find I have kind of a different philosophy on life. I think if you don't feel guilty about something, then you've not learned anything.
Oh, there you go.
So I like to carry a little guilt.
Sure.
And I have plenty of that. A lot of different aspects, Grant. I hope you can learn from me, Grant. I hope that you'll look to me as a mentor.
Yes. Certainly.
Sorry. Didn't mean to laugh there.
That hurt.
Hey, since you're here, would you like to do a live
Yeah, we'll
read?
do a little bit of reading
There
here.
you go. Read that if you would.
Okay.
You want to pre-read it first?
I might have to. We didn't even have a dress rehearsal, man. This is.
No. Well, Brent can go first, and then you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't looked this over yet, so I'll just go right into it.
We'll read at the same time.
Yeah.
That's nothing new, Brent.
No, they've got something really special going on in Cozad, and it's going to be happening very soon on November the 5th. It's what they call Mingle on the Meridian. You can pick up a flyer at participating retailers to take advantage of some great coupons and also get entered for a chance to win Cozad cash as we are coming up on the holiday season. So check it out. Shop Cozad, Mingle on the Meridian, November 5th. And also during the day, they're going to do something special for the kids. Of course, you got the Fox Theater in Cozad. And so starting November 5th, there's going to be a free movie for the kids. And then, as we mentioned, when you shop around town, you can take advantage of some great coupons and get registered to win Cozad Cash Bucks. Now, the free matinee movie is scheduled for Saturday afternoon at 1:30 for the kids. So shop Cozad, Mingle on the Meridian on November 5th. That'd be Saturday.
Thanks, Brent.
I believe.
Lunchtime Solutions is also looking for a little bit of help. It's time for a fresh career opportunity. They're hiring a kitchen helper and dishwasher to work in the Broken Bow School District. It's a perfect part-time position with no nights, weekends, or holidays required. It's a fun, focused work environment, and these positions are eligible for a sign-on bonus. You can make the most out of your talents and skills by helping to improve students' school experience with better nutrition. And you can learn more about that by going to lunchtimesolutions.com/careers. And the listing's available on our Sandhills Express employment page.
Nice
that was
job.
phenomenal.
Nice job.
I think we should just make him the live read guy.
Oh, I do too.
You know, like a character on the
Right.
Breakfast Show.
That's
funny. Now with your live read, here's the live read guy.
The
You can-
live reader.
Yeah, if you can write me a jingle, I'll do it.
Oh, we could do that. Yeah. Well, ask Jeremy. Jeremy, he could have a jingle made for you.
Yeah, we'll get a jingle and then
some graphics
Yeah.
show up here on the screen. I don't mean to pry, but like when you were younger in Omaha, did you ever work as a dishwasher?
I worked a bunch of service jobs, so I've been around a kitchen or two in my day.
Yeah. Oh, geez, I went again. I wasn't going to pry into Grant's history.
Yeah.
And first thing I do is jump in there and ask him if you ever.
You're just trying to get to know him better.
How about the zoo? at the zoo. What's your favorite zoo animal at the Henry Dorley Zoo?
Man, I go for the aquarium and stay for the giraffes.
Ooh. Huh. Giraffes are pretty cool.
They're really cool, man.
Yeah.
They're something else.
Grant, how do you feel about birds?
Birds are a contentious subject between me and some of my friends.
Really?
Yeah, I've got friends who. Well, there's an ongoing kind of, I want to say poll. It's kind of the closest word, which is like, which are you most afraid of? Is it fish, reptiles, or birds?
Oh.
Some people are afraid of birds.
Yeah, because they're all kind of just removed enough from
the reptiles.
Yeah, they're all just like
or actually from the
So are you
dinosaur
afraid of birds?
I am not afraid of birds. I love birds.
Okay. All right.
I'm actually the afraid of reptiles. I'm like
I'm with you.
Yeah, reptiles I don't like.
No
so
way,
much.
man. A snake, I'm running the other way.
Yeah, man. It's like, where's its hands? What's its hiding? You know?
Well, I understand that. Birds without feathers aren't real good to look at. Then they remind.
They're very good to eat.
They are tasty. Now, guys, I got to go home. You know, I got to go see my wife later. So, so here's the thing about birds. I think you'll want to know this. So we promised we'd talk about birds. They can actually, on these shorter, colder days, help fight depression.
Cool.
That can kick in quickly for folks.
You mean just like watching birds?
Just, yeah. A new study shows seeing and hearing birds can actually improve your well-being. And the study shows birds can actually improve a person's mood for up to 8 hours. Researchers use the Urban Mind app to collect real-time data from people throughout the day. Now, they're suggesting maybe
I'm
even...
sorry. What? Used the what?
Yeah.
The Urban Mind app? What is that?
It's the Urban Mind app to collect real-time data from people throughout the day.
Oh.
So it's an app that reads your mind? Is that the deal?
Just urban people.
Oh, okay.
So, I think I'm probably on that list. They're probably harvesting.
Yeah, you're probably
thoughts
being
on a daily
research
basis.
right now, Grant. Then they also suggest that you maybe get a pet bird that you could look at all the time. And if you're urban, you might be in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't have birds outside your window, so you get a parakeet. Well, some of those birds can live up to 90 years. So then you got to worry about the bird's going to be around longer than I am. And I think sometimes a bird in a house, I don't know how you feel about that, but I don't care. I don't think I would want a pet bird in the house. I like them flying around out in the bushes and, you know, acting and mingling amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's a parakeet? You're going to be in a cage and look around and, you know, eat like a piece of carrot or something.
And then it'll just start screaming. You just scream its head
Yeah,
off.
make noise.
Yeah.
That might turn into be more of a stress factor than relieving depression. That's just an opinion, but you can check the Urban Mind app to really know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just heard the Urban Mind app. I'm thinking, what is that? They got an app for everything. What, now there's an app to read your mind? Yeek.
Oh, you know, there's all kinds of things out there recording all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Should remind folks, and I bet you're probably got this on your schedule, Grant, would be the Chamber of Commerce, Broken Bow's Chamber of Commerce, having a couple of ribbon cuttings tomorrow at 3:30 and 4 for the Zach Bristol Sprinkler Service and Harley White with Smile Button Photography.
Yep, I'll be there.
Oh, so that's happening, and everybody can be there. Just go to the office of the Chamber on the east side of the square in Broken Bow, right across from the bandstand there, and they'd love to have you stop by and congratulate these entrepreneurs.
Good.
All right. I think that's it. Did you enjoy yesterday, Grant?
Oh, I had a blast.
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun. There was one kid, like I don't know, probably 5 or so, who was dressed up like an Aquabat, which was one of my favorite bands in high school. And it blows my mind now that I am like approaching that age where kids are dressed up like idols I had when I was in high school.
That happens.
Yeah.
That's one of the conversations we have a conversation every once in a while, that Joan and I, and she says they're time goes by so fast, and you're used to being younger than other people for a long time, and then you can't make that adjustment. And Joan says, well, they're probably older than we are, aren't they? And I go, no. Time passes by. So, again, I apologize, Grant.
It's all right.
Winterer from Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
an Aquarius.
You're an Aquarius?
I'm an Aquarius.
I'm an
When's your birthday? So you're February?
January.
January.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an Octagon.
Nice.
My goodness. I don't know. I think I'd say you're a square.
Probably. But not in my mind. Okay.
I wonder what the Urban Mind
That's
app would
just-
say on Dave's mind.
It's just thinking that.
I think I'm a Libra.
I think it'd
actually.
probably blow up.
What are you?
What?
Besides a sports announcer, I mean, I'm a Libra.
I think Aquarius. I'm
Here.
February,
Oh,
so
yeah.
Aquarius.
Early February?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle February.
Yeah.
You probably
I
like
guess.
that song, don't you?
Dawning of the
What's that?
Age. Yeah, man. Fifth
Oh.
Dimension. Oh, yeah, brother.
The age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that tells me something. All right. We'll take a time out and close the show. Thanks, Grant.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brent.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, listeners, for putting up with us.
Yeah.
We good to go?
Well, I think so. Yeah. Well, did we do all the business?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Did we do Nebraska Department of Transportation? Did you read that one?
Was it for Ansley?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. we
You did read
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't have it crossed off my sheet. Now we're good. Thanks.
Yeah. I got to tell you the truth. Do you mind if when I read those Nebraska Department of Roads things, I think of Carla at the
Oh, yeah.
office here,
Uh-huh.
and then I think of the perfume she wears, and I just quit thinking. That gal's the best smelling gal in town. Just go to the post office and wait for her to get there. You won't regret it.
All right. Hey.
I don't know if you can do that in Omaha. You probably get arrested.
Yeah,
but here-
definitely.
Impressive. We better quit. We'll take a time out.
Golden Harvest Gold Series soybeans are